But if somebody, like, let's say, is watching, is not making money, let's just say you back when you were working in the shitty Illinois, cold weather, burning house job, what would you say to somebody that's the easiest way to make money online? Welcome to the Online Shield Show, and we have a very special guest here today. My good friend, Rafel Mayol, founder of Emprendedores.com, which is entrepreneur.com in Spanish. And today, what I want to do is just talk about business, life, what you've been up to. And yeah, so for those that don't know, I've known Rafel since, I think, 2018. Funny story, I connected with you through Alex Becker's testimonial, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, long story short, 2018 was the first year I made $1 million. And Alex Becker was one of the first clients that we started working in the beginning of that year. That testimonial propelled us like tremendously. And I think you came from that one.
Yeah, and I reached out. Yeah, I just remember that, right?
Yep, reached out. And I think back then, I think you had like 1,000 followers on your Instagram account, which is kind of crazy. So anyways, for people that don't know you, just tell us what you do, who you are, and yeah, we'll go from there.
I thought this was going to be a Spanish podcast, and no. I found out it's an English podcast.
Yeah. So English.
So I own Emprendedores.com, which means entrepreneur.com in Spanish, and we're the #1 coaching company for business in Spanish, and we mainly export outside of the US. So it's probably 10% of our customers are in the US and 90% is worldwide Spanish speaking.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about like what you sell, what you do, kind of the revenue numbers. I know that people want to just hear about that, obviously.
Yeah, so I started doing e-commerce back in 2013. That's when I started first selling t-shirts and supplements and affiliate products, bunch of nutraceuticals as well. At one point I pivoted to creating my own stores, and then I pivoted to start teaching other people how to build their own stores. So we started teaching e-commerce, which at the beginning was Shopify, and then it was Amazon, and now we also teach how to get customers. We have Shopify, Amazon, how to get customers, education, coaching programs, and so forth in Spanish. We only do Spanish, and our prices go from 5,000 all the way up to 30,000.
Awesome. So let's just recap, because I mean, you mentioned that you started selling t-shirts, and I actually know your story, so I want people to hear it. So you're from Spain, you're an immigrant like me, like you're not from the United States, and you've been able to build today what you guys do. How much revenue per month?
Revenue, we did 1.3 million this month.
Nice.
Like today's the last day of January 2023.
Yep.
And we're at 1.3 million.
Nice. So 7 figures a month, very successful business owner. We met in 2018. I think back then you had the Shopify e-com course, if I'm not mistaken. Just like walk it through the journey, like what happened with you to go from selling t-shirts years ago to now doing over 7 figures a month, selling info products or coaching and courses and all that stuff.
So it's a couple of phases. First phase, I moved to the US because I want to make over $3,000 a month, because in Spain it's difficult to make over $3,000 a month.
Why?
And because I was told that in the US as an engineer, you would make over $3,000 a month, like 5-6 grand, something like that.
Yeah.
And in Spain it's difficult to make that amount of money, even as an engineer.
What's the minimum wage in Spain?
$14,000 a year.
Wow. So that's like $1,300 a month, or $1,400.
Yeah, that's minimum wage.
Okay.
Average wage is about $22,000 per year, and engineers probably average is after 5-10 years maybe $3,000 a month.
Wow.
$36,000 a year. So I was like, I'm gonna move to the US and make more money. I make over $3,000 because that's what success is, making over $3,000 in Spain, not in the US, but in Spain, right? So I moved here with a program that allowed me to work here because I didn't have, like, I came here to work, not to get a master's. I didn't care about the master's. I just wanted the dot on the paper that allowed me to work here legally. So I did that, stayed working, did $60,000 a year on my first job. So that was exactly $5,000 a month. Gross pre-tax. Went up to $95,000 and then quit my job once my business was successful. But at the beginning, what drove me was I always played about business, but I was fantasizing about business. Like I would do business plans and, Excel revenue, like just theoretical business. And then when I moved here, I wanted to bring, at the time, my girlfriend at the time. We're not together anymore, but at the time I wanted to bring her here. And she was in school. I just graduated. So school for her here was $40,000 plus $20,000 a year in like the rooms and food and stuff, and I couldn't pay for that. So I'm gonna start a business and I'll be able to pay for it. So that's how I started in business. At the beginning it was real estate, like flipping contracts, wholesaling, put a property under contract and sell it.
How did that go?
I did 2 properties and I didn't sell them. I ended up buying them.
Okay.
They were in the hood. I bought a 4-unit for $9,000, and I bought a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, townhome, detached townhome for $2,500.
Wow.
For less than the price of the land.
Did you actually end up making money on those?
I doubled my money in a year in the first one.
Okay.
So I bought it for under $10,000, sold it a little bit over a year later for almost 20.
Okay.
And then I collected rent, which was $1,600 a month. But it was in the hood, so a lot of people coming in and out, single mothers with like crazy stories.
Got it.
All over. So it was not a good experience, although it financially worked.
Yeah.
In the second property, I lost money on it.
Okay.
It was a flip. It had a hole in the roof, and it just had to be rehabbed. So I never did a rehab, so I bought it, and I thought I'll partner with somebody who's done a rehab because I got the deal. I'll partner with somebody who will do a rehab. And for some reason, I didn't put insurance. Didn't put insurance on the property. I had insurance in the other one, but not on this one because I was like, there's nobody living in it. Like it didn't occur to me. And this is Wisconsin. It's cold. It's winter. There's an empty house that people just go there and do drugs and stuff because it's a place to hang out for druggies in the hood. And like the house catch fire. I don't know if they did it on purpose or not. So it burned down. Police called me. They thought I burned the property to get the insurance money. Then they saw I didn't have insurance. So they're like,
oh my God.
All right, kid, good luck, right? And I was like, oh man, I'm done with. I was living in Illinois. This was in Wisconsin. Like I'm from Spain. Like what am I doing here? It's cold. I'm in the hood. Like, what am I doing here? And I moved to California.
Got it.
And I transitioned to online business.
Got it. What happened with the girlfriend that was in Spain?
It didn't work out.
Because the house went down?
No.
So how is relationships in Spain? Because obviously like women prefer a man that has his stuff together, his shit together, rather than having to deal with somebody who's building it from the ground up, having her house burnt down. So how was that transition for you? Was it hard?
Not really. I mean, I'm with an Eastern European woman.
Okay.
My wife, she's American, but like was brought up Eastern Europe, so very traditional values.
Yeah.
So for me, it hasn't been hard or anything like that, and I'm glad it's that way. But I can tell you that Spain and I think worldwide, like feminism and all that stuff, I think we're modeling the U.S. So whatever would happen in the U.S. would happen in Spain, but not what would happen in Miami. Like I think Miami is like an extreme example because there's very, very ultra high net worth, highly successful people that you don't see that many successful people in Spain.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of women who come here and compete. So there's a bunch of guys super successful competing, a bunch of beautiful women competing, and I haven't seen that anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's different.
Well, we'll get to that here in a second because I believe also here in Miami there's a bunch of simps with a bunch of money, and then it just creates a whole mess in the relationship marketplace. But okay, so you moved to California from Illinois after your house burnt down. What happened next? You transitioned to online business.
Yes.
And then what happened then? Like, how do you even find out about online business? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. So I wanted to get leads online. So at the beginning, I didn't know anything about online business. So I was literally driving around putting like signs on the streets
for the wholesale real estate business
for people to call me and get leads. That was it. And I was like, I had a job during the day and I was doing this at night, taking phone calls at night. Like there's gonna be a better way.
Yeah.
So
what do your friends?
Facebook ads.
Yeah. What question? What do your friends in Spain say? Like when they were seeing you do all this, your house burns down, you have a stable job as an engineer in the United States, making $95,000 a year. You're doing this crazy thing at night, putting sticks in the ground, trying to get leads. Was that why your girlfriend left you?
No, I don't know. I think she just didn't believe in me or like not in me, but I don't think she thought it would happen. Like I don't think she thought
she probably hates herself right now.
It could work. Like you're like it's not gonna work. You're not gonna be able to pay for this. It's impossible.
Yeah,
like, it's unrealistic that I'm gonna be able to move to the U.S. with you and study and get my degree and all that stuff. It's probably unrealistic.
Yeah.
So.
But what did your friends say back home?
So they didn't know.
Okay.
So that was really a catalyst for me. I moved to the U.S. I learned English. Like my English was really broken. When I learned English, I started listening to people like at the beginning, like Brian Tracy, Jim Rohn, then Tony Robbins, like just free on YouTube. I started like getting into like personal development. I didn't have any influence from the people back home because like first they don't speak English, most of them. I don't talk to like I'm busy, like I have a job and a business. Like I'm not talking to them. I'm not seeing that. Like I'm not seeing anybody. Like I work during the day, I work at night, and I work on weekends. Like I don't talk to them. So,
was it lonely? in Illinois and all that stuff?
It sucked. Like winter's coming. That was my winter, you know. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, my colleagues at work, they would tell me things. I remember them. Like there was this guy who, and now I'm saying this in English. I don't want to say this in Spanish, so now he would understand. But his name was Scott. He's Scott. I think he still works there. And I was in my cubicle, and he walked in. I didn't tell him anything. Like he just walks in, and he's like, "So I heard you're gonna do this business, like real estate business." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "And you're gonna make money with it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, right." And left the cubicle, you know, like that.
That's super awkward and weird.
Anyway, so yeah, I would approach even coworkers and say like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this deal." Like, join, like, you know, I don't trust you, or I don't trust this thing, or like my parents say this is crazy, so I'm not gonna join you, you know. So, and I remember like at work, I would work at lunch. Like I would work on my job, and at lunch I'd go to my car and do phone calls.
Wow.
And get like work the leads.
Yeah.
And then go back to work, and then go back home and keep working the leads. So I would just go to my car, eat, and call people, and all the coworkers were like in the cafeteria eating, and you know, like this weird Spaniard just like doesn't eat with us, doesn't drink with us. He just goes and he's doing this weird thing, you know, about real estate and da. So yeah, it was lonely, very lonely. Yeah,
I bet. Damn. Yeah, it's funny because most entrepreneurs that are successful today that I know, they always go through very, very rough moments to get to where they are. Every single, like, and it builds character. Except if you're like in crypto and you a bunch of millionaires, but a lot of crypto people are also nerds and sims. So, anyways, we'll get to that in a second. So you're doing this thing in Illinois. With your job, house burns down, girlfriend dumps you because he doesn't believe in what you're actually gonna do. Friends or co-workers are making fun of you. But what made you move to California from Illinois?
House burned down, girlfriend dumped me. I was done with it. I made a decision. This is the last winter I'm spending here. Like winters last 6 months over there.
And
you know,
it's freaking cold. I used to live in Indiana, which is like right next to Illinois, and it freaking sucks. Yeah. It's so bad. And especially like I'm from the Dominican Republic, so I like a summer all year round. Like the transition to that was very, very tough for me. So I feel your pain.
So it was a decision, man. Like, this is the last winter I'm spending here. Like, I didn't know how. I just said, this is the last winter. Like, I've done 3 winters here. This is it. I'm not spending, like, I went home and I guess, I'm not spending another winter here. Like, this is the last winter out there. Like, you know, like, stake in the sand. Like, this is it. This is a line. It's not happening again. So I started online business and looking for jobs in California. Okay. Because I had a friend in California who said it was awesome and the weather and all the stuff. Now, I would rather be in Florida, but you know, at the time I thought it was cool. And yeah, that was
so okay. So you went from Illinois, online business, moved to California. Where in California?
Bay Area.
Bay Area, LA?
No, it's San Francisco.
San Francisco.
1 hour from San Francisco.
Okay. So, and then the online business that you started, what was it?
I was selling T-shirts at the time, and right as I moved, I transitioned to like supplements, courses about. Like either a course about losing weight as an affiliate on ClickBank, or supplements on ClickBank, and then 2 CPA networks for nutraceuticals, which was weight loss and testosterone boosters. And I did 1.2 million in a year, and I quit my job. Yeah.
Interesting. So like the affiliate marketing and all that stuff actually did work for you.
It did work, yeah.
Damn, that's insane. That's pretty cool. So, and then how do you went from affiliate marketing? Why didn't you keep doing affiliate marketing and you started going into?
Because when I did my first 120 grand in affiliate marketing, I noticed that I made 120, but the guy whose products I was selling made $500,000. Like, I'm the one bringing the sales. Yeah. Like, I'm the one doing the marketing. I'm the one spending my money on ads. I'm the one bringing the customer, closing the customer. And then he's making 5 times what I'm doing. And like, all I have to do, because I have the whole funnel, like change his product and put my product on it, and then I'll make more money. So that was the thought process, and what started me with creating my own brand, which at the time wasn't a brand. It was just like a transaction. I just wanted to sell as many of them as possible. Now I create brands, like there's more strategy to it. But at the time it was just like, let's push as many products as we can, and that was the transition.
Got it. Cool. So that was what year? What was that?
2015 to 2016 was when I blew up my sales. I did 95,000 in 2015 and 1.2 million in 2016.
Wow. And then California takes half. Great.
That's revenue, not profit.
Got it. Yeah. They still take half though. In Texas. Okay. So, and then what happens? So now you have a bunch of courses and stuff that you do and sell.
Yes.
So like, how do you transition from affiliate marketing to building your own brand to now selling a course on e-commerce and stuff like that?
So that was my second winter. So my first winter was in Rockford, Illinois.
Okay.
This was my second crisis or second winter, or like, you know, so they say business cycle.
Yep.
So this was my cycle. No, I made 1.2 million and then I went back to zero. And
Really?
what happened?
Wait. What happened then? Like, so 2016 you made 1.2, and then 2017.
No, I recovered already, but halfway through. So 2016, I make 1.2 million.
Yep.
Quit my job in June. I'm on a H-1B visa, so
Okay.
I have 10 days to leave the country. So I didn't have to just like, it was not just about quitting my job.
Yeah.
It was about and relinquishing my visa
Yep.
and my work status and all that. But I was like I saw one day the bank statement and it's like whatever month in 2016, 200,000 came in. And I'm like, what am I doing in this job? Like, if it works, what am I doing here? If it doesn't work, this income is not going to save me anyway. So what am I doing here? Let's just quit it and go all in business. That was June 2016. And then I quit my job, went full time into this e-commerce thing. And then a few months later, I lose all my processing, 90% of all my merchant processing. And my income goes to like almost zero.
Yeah.
But I'm having like 70 grand a month of expenses. So
Holy.
I go 200 grand in the red, and they're holding over 200 grand of reserves for half a year. So I have like, you know, a valley of despair of 6 months of being 200 grand short until I get my funds released.
Yeah.
Because they're being withheld by the merchant processor.
Oof.
So, and I'm taking like shark loans at 29% interest just to like, okay, I have to, I mean, I wasn't gonna starve or anything.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like you can always go to family, at least in my case. But like, okay, I have to pay my American Express. I have to pay this. Like, I'm taking loans, paying them off as I can at 29% interest.
So you're like juggling a bunch of stuff all at the same time.
And that's when I started teaching. And
Got
I'm
it.
like, okay, I have this skill, and I look at like in the Spanish market, and I'm like, there's nobody teaching people how to be successful on e-commerce. And I went from 0 to 1.2 million. Like, I can teach this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's when I want teaching.
Yeah. Side note and shameless plug. That is exactly why we now have a payment processing company with a partner. His name is Anthony. He processes like 15 bill a year, precisely because of that. Because I went through the same thing. Merchant processing will shut you down, hold reserve, and basically hold your money hostage while you basically choke yourself to death.
Yeah, it's scary, man.
Yeah. So anyways, if anybody wants to get merchant that is not sharks, easy, lower fees, etc., just DM me on Instagram. We'll talk. Anyways, so let's get back to you. You started teaching e-commerce like courses in what year?
2017? Something like that.
Wow. So we met each other literally just 1 year later.
Yes.
Okay. So how did the courses go for you?
I started selling at $47.
Okay.
With an upsell on $1,000. So $47 a month was my course. And then I had an upsell, which is I'll build you the Shopify store for $1,000.
Okay.
And I remember my first 20 grand. It was mostly from the $1,000 program, but my work was with the hundreds of customers that paid me $47 who like, they're like writing to you every week. They want stuff. And I was like, dude, you pay $47.
Yeah.
Like,
chill out.
so I noticed that my money was made here, but most of my customers were here. So like, all right, I have to sell $1,000. And I think that's when we started working together.
Yep.
I had already been selling $1,000 through like a webinar funnel and straight to a checkout. I didn't have a sales team until a few years later. And that's how I made my first million in information products.
Yep.
Just add straight to webinar to a checkout online that you put your card.
Yeah. And then obviously you recovered from the $200,000 negative because courses, the profit margins is just stupid.
Yeah.
It's a lot higher than e-commerce.
Yeah.
And your only cost is ads.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. So then we meet in 2018. I remember like back then you had like 1,000 followers on Instagram or something like that. And then we helped you grow 15K, whatever. And then I think next year was when we started actually working together on a higher ticket offer.
Yes.
And I remember you saying, oh, but I'm in the Spanish market. People in there are not going to buy a product that's worth 3 to 5K. Like, word for word.
I have my doubts.
Yeah. And I to be honest, I also had my doubts. But of course, I'm like, bro, just try it. Just try it. Just try the process. Just try it and let's see how it goes. And then I remember you joined the program back then. It was GSA, Graham Sales Academy. The first week, I think you made like 27 grand profit or something like that.
I remember first month we made 100 grand with you.
Yeah, that was like, I was like, oh shit, this actually works. You see, I told you it worked.
Yeah.
So that was like, you know, the confidence in something that I really didn't know was going to go work or not, because it was a beta program I remember back then, but it actually did work really, really well. So, okay, so just walk it through like...
There were two keys to that you helped me with that I want to point out. First one was the offer.
Yep.
Like I've never did a high ticket offer before. Like I just didn't know how to structure that at all. And I went from 1,000, which was already twice what everybody else was charging.
So you were already premium high ticket in Spanish.
Yes, because everybody was like, you cannot sell $1,000. And I was like, of course I can. And I was selling 1,000. But like, wow, like now going to $3,000 or $5,000, I was like, oh, can I really do that?
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to structure the program. So the first thing you did was tell me like, hey, this is how high ticket programs are structured, like the coaching calls. And I'm like, okay, so now I have a high ticket program. Now I can sell it. And at the time, our Facebook ad account was shut down. It was a necessity all of a sudden to sell on organically. 2019, with that program that we bought, that's where I learned how to sell my stories.
Yeah,
and
on Instagram.
you told me how to do webinars on my stories.
Yeah, Instagram story webinar.
Yeah. I learned that from you and watching how you were doing things. And that's where I learned how to sell on my social media, not just through a webinar and a funnel, but like, hey, I can get on my stories or any video anywhere now and sell anything, anywhere on any platform. So those were the two key factors that allowed me to first sell without Facebook ads or spending in ads, and second, knowing how to sell a high ticket program.
And mind you, back then you already had built a following that we helped you build, I think. So you had some organic traffic, obviously from ads and stuff like that. So you already had people that were ready to buy pretty much.
Yeah, but I was sending them to a webinar funnel.
Yeah, I know.
You know, which now I would be like, what are you doing? You know?
Yep. So just to recap, 2016 started 1.2 mil, 2017 lose it all, merchant shuts down. Then you started selling courses. On courses, when you first launched, how much you did on that?
$20,000. When I was selling at $47, I made $20,000, and then I was like, oh, this is not worth it.
Yeah.
And then I went to $1,000.
Yep.
And over the next year and a half, I made 1.2 million
from the course alone.
From the course at $1,000.
Nice. So you scaled to 7. So you knew how to scale offers and just pay traffic very quickly.
Which I learned from affiliate marketing. Because bear in mind, affiliate marketing, everybody's selling the same thing. Like it's the exact same landing page, exact same product, and we're just competing on skill on advertising. So that's where I learned how to advertise.
And then recap, 2018 you launched, 2019 your Facebook ad account gets shut down, which of course is a problem that a ton of people face. And then you launch your high ticket offer, you crush it first month. It was like 6 figures plus.
Yes.
And then what happens after that?
We stayed at 6 figures plus ever since.
Nice. So like, how do you even go, obviously like 6 figures a month and 7 figures a month? There's a huge gap in between.
So for me, going from $100,000 a month to $200,000 a month was just having a bigger team for delivery, because my bottleneck was not sales. I was able to sell $200,000 a month, but delivering what you sold, that was the key. So I built a team of coaches and mentors who were very skilled. They were all 7-figure revenue on their online stores and things like that. So building the delivery was what allowed me to sell more, because my Instagram following allowed me to sell 200 or 250K a month. Then after that, we got our accounts back and we just started advertising again. And that's how we kept growing up until, let's say, $500,000 a month. And then our bottleneck became again the delivery, like delivering at scale and ensuring quality. Because that's when you start having, one coach is not delivering well, then I have 10 angry customers who want to murder you, because, they gave you $1 or $5,000. And now, you have to change their life and, or something like that. So what allowed us to grow from $500,000 to over $1 million was ensuring the quality and consistency of delivery with quality control. The key was not waiting 3 or 6 months till the customer's done with the program to complain and then they want a refund. But you have to identify it right when it happens, whether it's day 7 or day 30. If you identify it there, you still have 3 months to fix it. Whereas if you wait till the end,
you're screwed.
Because
I remember you were not even taking sales calls yourself. Because I remember you were like, you never took sales calls. It was like you were sending somebody else to close the deal.
Maybe I took 2 or 3. It's like more like a setter, like on Instagram DMs. And I was like, I'm not good at this. I'll just hire somebody.
Got it. Yeah. And then obviously that person was getting commission per sale. What was the commission on average?
At the time, it was 10%.
10%. Got it. So, I mean, they're selling something for $5K, they're making $500. And it was easy to sell. So that person is probably very happy.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, you're making a ton of money. Not having to worry about delivery, you're just closing. So, of course. Okay. In terms of the scale, because you went from like 100 to 200 to 500. Now, what is the biggest bottleneck currently right now that you're facing at that 7-figure per month level?
I think right now our bottleneck is as we spend more in ads, like our ROAS decreases. I think we got to a point where, yes, we've grown to 1.3 million a month just on ads, with, let's say, 20% of our sales come from Instagram organic, but like it's not like I'm an influencer with tons of followers. So I think now our bottleneck is to get more eyeballs and attention, but the returns on advertising start to diminish.
Yep.
So it's organic. Going to podcasts.
Yep.
You know, like building my YouTube channel, which I haven't published in 6 months.
Here's something. So like right now, like what would you say the main revenue comes from directly from ads, Facebook ads and Instagram ads, I'm guessing?
It's a mix, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
Okay.
With, let's say, Facebook is more consistent for us. So in a month that YouTube works well, it's kind of 50-50. In a month that YouTube doesn't work as well, it's more like 2/3 Facebook, 1/3 YouTube.
Got it. And then Instagram accounts for like 20% of the sales organically.
Yeah. So from the 80% that's paid ads,
yep,
it's that's a ratio between Facebook and YouTube, and our TikTok is like 10%.
Got it.
Sales.
Cool. And then in terms of profit, like which channel for you is more profitable?
Organic.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So yeah. So this is like the reason why. I mean, I told you back then, I always say it, the most important asset you have is obviously building your own following, your personal brand. This is the reason why I'm doing this podcast in the first place, because you build trust, likability, and it compounds over time. Yeah. And then you have an asset that you can go and sell pretty much for life. Yes. Right? It is the reason why the biggest influencers in the space, Grant Cardone, Russell Brunson, all those guys, they have the organic following is diehard fan. Of course, paid ads is important, but the organic following is extremely important as well. So what I would say is, if you were to, let me ask a question. If you were to summarize your journey, if let's say there's 2 questions here. One for the entrepreneur, right? Yeah. The person that's making like 5-10 grand a month right now. What would you say to them to scale their info product coaching course business? Because obviously courses, it is by far the best business model there is. High profit margin, you can impact and change people's life and make a ton of money in the process. Mm-hmm. If somebody's not making 100 grand a month right now, or 50 grand a month, or $1 million a month, right? What would you say to somebody that's making like 5 to 10 grand a month currently right now, and what they should do in order to get to that?
It's your offer. Your offer sucks. I mean, plain and simple. Yeah. Nobody wants to buy what you're selling. Some people buy out of sympathy. Oh, I like you, so I'll buy your stuff. You know, like, you launch something and you always have 10 people that buy anything. Like, they didn't even know what they buy. That's because they're buying you, not your program. If you want to scale, like, I can sell to people who don't like me because they like what I sell, not me personally. Yep. So having a killer offer is the difference between, I mean, there's more things, but without the killer offer, you won't go from 10 grand a month to 100 grand a month or $500,000 or $1 million a month.
Got it. And then what will be the other component after that? Like, obviously your offer needs to be on point, needs to be good. People actually want to buy it in the first place. After that, because obviously just an offer, they say like build it and they will come. That's not true, obviously. No. What happens when you have a sexy offer?
I think you need to know how to market it. And a lot of people, when they market the offer, it's not unique because they haven't created methodology unique to their offer. Like, it's very important, like, especially if you're going to scale. Once you get to a point where you're at scale, everybody before buying you, they know the alternative because you're already big and known. So you're always on their comparison before they make the purchasing decision. So when you put your product or your service versus the competition service, if you have to differentiate it. So if you have your own methodology, if you're more clear in your communication, I call it the quantificable, quantitative result.
Yep.
Resultado medible cuantificable in Spanish. So if you say I help people lose weight, that's weak. But if you help men over 40 to lose 20 pounds in 12 weeks, that's specific. And then if you have your own methodology, which is like, let's say, like B-Shred, it's a known brand in the US. I help you with the diet and exercise that's right for your body type. Oh, that's why I wasn't losing weight, because I wasn't eating right for my body type. Now I know. So they give me the methodology. They give me a specific result. And now my offer is good, but also my marketing and persuasion and messaging is good.
Yep.
So I see that's something that sometimes lacks or is missing in some people communications offer and messaging.
Got it. Okay. And then if somebody, I have obviously my opinions around this too. But if somebody, like, let's say, is watching, is not making money, like, let's just say you back when you were working in the shitty Illinois cold weather burning house job, right?
Yeah.
What would you say, you knowing what you know now, what would you say to somebody that's the easiest way to make money online? Because obviously, like, you build your skill set with affiliate marketing, you build your skill set and then e-com, and then it was a transition period as you grew that allowed you to then turn your knowledge or your experience into a course to then sell. In Illinois, you didn't have really knowledge or anything to sell in the first place.
Correct.
So what would you say to somebody that's seeing this right now? In my opinion, this is what you can do right now in order to make money online.
That's such a great question, because there's businesses that require money to start. Like, I wouldn't say, oh, start an Amazon business, because you need money for inventory. So it's not for everybody. Are we talking about like information products and coaching?
Just general. Like, what is the, like, in your opinion, a very good way, not easy, because nothing in life is easy, a simple way that anybody can start making money online currently right now?
So I think it's kind of like what you did. Like, go get results first. Like, it's crazy. So many people want to sell shit. Like, you haven't done anything, and you want to charge 10 grand, and you haven't done anything. Like, what are you going to teach them? Like, I know, like, because some of them are my customers. Like, they're like, I'll teach you how to make 10 grand a month. I'm like, dude, you don't make 10 grand a month. How are you going to teach how to make 10 grand a month? It's like, well, that's how the other guy makes money. I'm like, oh. So don't do that. Go get the results first. Like, even if you have to work for free. Like, and it doesn't have to be in the information industry. You can go help dentists, practices, chiropractors. You can go help local businesses, just make more money and help them make customers, even if it's for free, just so you get the case study. The case study, and now you sell real results, and people will buy because now you have a track record. So I would say, get the track record first. That's the most important thing, because then it's easy to sell. It's hard to sell when you don't have anything to sell, you know, so get a track record.
What I would say is, like, piggybacking on that, the way I actually started, because 2016, I actually started my business. 2017, it grew, fell. 2018, January or February 2018, I was making $4 grand a month net. And then I started working with Lady Boss, Kevin David, and Alex Becker for free, being a social closer, which I'll explain here in a second. And then I got them results, and they gave me in return a testimonial, plus they started paying me.
And that's why I hired you.
And that's when you knew me. So those testimonials literally propelled me to, like, the stratosphere overnight, because I was doing, like, this Instagram thing that nobody knew, right? Back then, like, I was literally the first quote unquote pioneer in an industry with, like, shout outs and Instagram story ads and Instagram webinar and, like, all these different things. But nobody was, using it. So I'm like, I need to do this thing for free for somebody in order to get results first and then go from there. So that's how, again, we met. But if I were to start again from zero, I would do the exact same thing I did. Go work for somebody else and then just make money as you make them money, because it is the easiest, lowest hanging fruit. The reason why I worked with, let's just say, Lady Boss and Kevin David and Alex Becker was because they already had an existing business. They already had existing following. They already had a delivery process in place. They already had all this infrastructure put in, and I didn't have to do any of that. They just wanted, hey, I want to close more sales. Let's see what you can do, right? And this is, like, why I'm now focusing on what we call, like, a social closer offer, where basically you come in to a business like you, I leverage your business, and then, I mean, you have a ton of followers on Instagram. You're probably not DMing every single one of them. You're not jumping on calls every single one of them. But then the person that's actually closing and bringing the customers into the company is making a 10% commission, a very juicy commission for pretty much anybody. So that's, like, in my opinion, the easiest way that anybody can start making money online right now, leveraging others influencers, others followers, not building a business on your own, not starting from zero, like, just leverage somebody else, make money, like, you make money when they make money, and for them is an easy, okay, cool, like, let's see what you got, right? And in my opinion, that is the easiest way to do that, because you don't need really experience, you just need your phone, and you'll develop your marketing and sales skills, and then from there you can go and do what you did, build a course business or build whatever, because now you have the track record and the experience and everything else. Right. So that's what I would say, in my opinion, it is the easiest way, because that's how I did it. You mentioned briefly your wife. How did you meet your wife? Because you met her Tinder.
I met my wife on Tinder.
Swiping right. Yeah. So it was funny. Alex Ramosi and Leda also met on Bumble. He told me when I was speaking at his conference, which I found pretty interesting. So what period of your life did you meet her on? Did you meet her when the house burned down? Did you meet her when you lost a merchant and you had $200,000 down? Did you meet her when you're already a millionaire or building to it? When did you meet her?
I met her a week after moving to California for a new job.
Okay, and so it wasn't when you said, screw Illinois in the winter, I'm going to California, and that's when you were building the affiliate marketing business?
I was selling, affiliate marketing supplements, and after I met her, I built my own brand of supplements.
Got it. So you already had made 1.2 mil.
No, I had made 120.
Okay.
95,000. So 2015, I made 95,000 with the business, not the job. And I met her September 2015.
Okay, got it. So how was the transition? Because obviously, so you've been with her for a long time, and she's been with you when you had $1 million coming in the business. That was a year later after you met her. But then she also was with you a year after that when you lost it all.
Yeah.
So how was that whole interaction?
So we're not husband and wife at the time. We're boyfriend and girlfriend, which makes it less... like if I go down, I guess it's less important because we're not still married, I guess, right? Versus if you're married and you lose a bunch of money, I guess it's
it affects directly the other person a lot more.
Right? At least on the other person's side. Like if you go under the other person's side, I mean, if you're married, then they're under with you. Yeah. But if you just started dating this guy a month ago and now he's like fucked up and now he's gone, I mean, it's not that relevant. But what helped me a lot was she's awesome, first. But second, she met me that I was already working. Like I already had started my business. Yep. Because if you meet somebody and you haven't started your own business, and then all of a sudden you go into this entrepreneurship thing, they're like, you're spending less time with me. Like, what are you doing? It's gonna fail. Stop doing that. You're wasting your time. Like, come hang out. We don't hang out anymore. None of that. Because she met me that I was already doing all of that. Like, it was like, this is my life. Like, I work and then I work. And then I think about work if I'm not working in between. You know what I mean? Like, and like, we would go on dates, but I had to work on the dates. So if I was opening an account for, like, let's say they banned me for like a Google account. Yep. So I would go to a bar, get their Wi-Fi, and launch a $5 campaign for their bar, in their bar with their Wi-Fi. So I would get an ad account for their bar. Yeah. I mean, without using their company information. But for the advertising platform, it's like, oh, that bar is advertising. With the IP address. That way. Correct. So I would go on dates with my laptop and I would open, like, okay, I have to go to this one. We open an account there, and then we go to the other restaurant, and then I open an account there, and I would walk downtown with searching for Wi-Fi signals. It's like, okay, this restaurant is called this one. All right, we're going here to it because I had to create an account. You know. So she came in my life that I was already doing that. Like, and I think that helped a lot because in my previous relationship, I wasn't into entrepreneurship when I got into the relationship, and then halfway through it, you decide to start a business, and that's when you have the friction or the tension of different interests because they met you that you were one person, and now all of a sudden you've changed. They haven't changed. You change. Yeah. Oh, they're not supporting me. Well, you change. Yeah.
What do you ever had that conversation with your ex? Hey, look, I'm going into this. This is how my life is going to look like now, and I want you like next to me to go along like for the ride. I need your support.
Yes.
And she basically said, nah, peace out.
No, not like that. Okay. She just didn't believe.
Yeah. Got it.
She would actively say, you're crazy. This is not gonna work. You're wasting your time. What are you even doing? Like waking up this early and working on these things. It's not gonna work. Yeah. Like it's not worth your time. But she wasn't actually telling it to me. She was telling it to herself because she thinks it wouldn't work if it wouldn't work for her. Yeah. But still, like it didn't matter what anybody would say. I would still.
Yeah, of course. It's like when you have self-confidence in yourself and your ability to succeed, as long as you don't quit and you're learning from your mistake, you are going to succeed eventually.
Yeah, and I didn't know if I was gonna succeed, but like I was done with it. Like, you know, my life sucked. Like I hated it. Like I don't know if I'm gonna succeed, but I'm gonna die trying. You know, like I either succeed or die. Like there's no other option.
Cool. And then obviously, like, your wife meets you, is going on dates with the laptop. So like, all right, what are we gonna eat tonight? I don't know. Give me a second. Let me see. Chipotle, like, oh no, McDonald's. So like, that's actually pretty funny. I've actually never heard that before. Yeah. And then, I mean, she was with you through the ringer, like ride or die kind of person.
Yeah.
And then what happened when you lost the merchant?
So at that point, I had left the U.S. I was traveling international, like Egypt and stuff, and because I lost my H-1B visa, so I was transitioning to another visa in between. So I started traveling, and it's like, what are we doing with this relationship? Like, are we gonna move forward or not? And I was like, do we want to keep seeing this girl? Yes. All right, let's get married. So that was it.
Got it. Okay. So it was a very logical decision by that point.
Yes.
Cool. Sounds good. And then now, obviously, you're freaking Rafel Mayol, Emprendedores.com. Yeah. And I'm sure, like, this is like the part that's very funny, in my opinion. The people that were, when you're in the transition period or the come up, will always say, hey, I believed in you or whatever. Like
I knew him. I
knew it, you know? And obviously, your exes hate themselves because,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe yes, maybe no.
But you never gotten a DM say, like, from her or whatever?
I talked once, maybe 6 months or a year afterwards. But I don't know. I don't know what she thinks, actually.
Yeah. I mean, typically, obviously, there's always the regret. But obviously, with now, ride or die personality, the person right next to you, been through the ringer, up and downs, and like everything, obviously, it turned out pretty well. So I think, cool. So what would you say now to somebody, let's just say, starting a business, right? From zero, or learning a skill like you were doing an affiliate marketing when you were starting, like, because you learned what the actual skill, in my opinion, that you learned was marketing online, right? And then you learn sales, and then you put together your course, right? So what would you say to somebody that's going either learning marketing and sales, those two things, or already has a business or is trying to build a business, and they already, I don't know, they have a girl they like, they're dating? What would you recommend if you were to just talk to your younger self? Would you recommend, hey, you know, go ahead on dates and do that? Or just like, nah, screw dates, just focus on yourself and do the business?
I don't know about the dates. I do know that I had to make a decision, because when I was here, I was like, shall I just come back to Spain, you know, and we continue with this person? And I made the decision that I was not going to give up what I wanted to do or my dreams. Now, I don't know if that means giving up dating. I guess for some people it might, for some people it doesn't. Like if you have 2 jobs and you're also starting a business, you might need to give up dating.
Because you don't have time, period.
Yeah, exactly. I hear some people that say give up dating. I think you can do it. Like I definitely haven't prioritized it. Like my priority was business. If then there's some leftover time for dating, great. And if there's not, then there's not. But it was like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Like I see so many people, like especially young men, because I was one of them who, like, dating was the main thing. Like, I'm going to school, and my main
you're swiping right on Twitter, on Tinder all day long.
There wasn't Tinder back then, but it was like my main preoccupation is, hey, I want to meet girls.
Yep.
You know, and when you start a business, that's not your first concern at all, and that's also very attractive, by the way, to women, or at least to most women.
Yeah.
So whether you date or not, it doesn't matter. You have to know what your dreams are, what your goals are, and you have to, like, be willing to, I was going to say die for them, but at least
put everything on the line.
Yeah, it's what it takes. And sometimes it will take dating out of your life, and sometimes it doesn't take, you have to give up your relationship for it. But whatever it takes, you have to do it.
Yeah. And obviously, if the person's not there to support you, then sadly, they got to go.
Yeah, I think so. But you know, sometimes they'll live on their own. Like
of course, like if somebody changes and the other person doesn't, and the goals is not together anymore. They're separated and they're going in different directions. So each person's gonna
naturally happen.
Yep, correct.
Yeah.
But did it actually hurt you back then when that happened?
Oh yeah, it broke me.
Really?
Oh yeah, like Yeah, I was crying. Like, I was sad. Like, I would go work, come home, do my calls, look at the pictures in the wall and cry and like be alone and hate my life. And then I said, this is the last fucking winter I'm spending here. I'm going to California. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, cool. So any last words that you want to tell people as we're ending today's show? Because your story is like, in my opinion, like very diverse. You went from immigrant from Spain, that's hard on its own, period, because I've done the same thing, to Illinois out of everywhere, freaking cold AF, in the middle of nowhere, probably. And you had a house in Wisconsin that burned down. That's like literally in the middle of nowhere. And then trying to build a business from zero, hurdles, obstacles, problem, house burning down, coming back from that, girlfriend dumping you because she didn't believe in you, you being heartbroken and pushing through all that mumbo jumbo, and then finding somebody that actually supports you. What would you say as any last words as we're ending this today? And today you're obviously making 7 figures a month, which is insane.
Yeah, so I would say to focus on yourself, focus on your goals, on what you want, on build the life you want, and the right people will come to it. Instead of try to chase certain people or girls or boys or whatever. Yeah. Chase your life and the right people will come into it.
Last question. How do you determine if somebody is good to stay in your life or not?
I don't know for other people, but I know that I've seen both sides of the coin. And I know that when you're at, let's say, in your down times, they don't give you shit for it. Like if you have to go out there and fight and then come home and keep fighting, like I used to put up with that. I'm not putting up with that now. So I think it's really important that when you come home, you don't have a second word to fight.
Yeah, you got peace.
Yes, peace, love, healing. I think that's very important. And it's rare to find, by the way.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people, like, whether it's men or women, like to kind of wait at the finish line and see what's going to happen with your life. Because it's very easy. One's like, if you made it, it's clear. You didn't make it, it's clear.
Yep.
And it's easy. But what's hard also as a partner is being with somebody who you don't know if he's going to make it or she's going to make it through, right? Yeah. So I think that's...
You're just believing that they are. I mean, but also I think there's characteristics of people that actually find success because there's multiple factors. Obviously, there's luck involved, being in the right place, right time. But luck doesn't only comes when you actually do the right things too. It's the whole manifestation thing is like, I don't know, I'm gonna buy a Porsche, right? And then you're seeing Porsches everywhere. The Porsches were there already. It's your mind, your subconscious mind that's now seeing them and now you're recognizing them. So same thing with opportunities. It's like before you were just in war, inside and outside the home, arguing with your friends, complaining, drinking, wasting a ton of time. Yeah. But now when you have specific goals, opportunities suddenly appear, but they were already there. Your mind just wasn't seeing them.
Yeah.
So that's in my opinion why the difference is, and why it's so important to have peace at home, because you will not be able to go out there and fight because it's freaking hard, and then also go fight at home and then wake up and do it all over again. You can only take so much.
Yeah.
So cool, man. Well, I appreciate you being here. Where can people find you? Find more about you and all that good stuff.
So you can go to my Instagram, Rafel Mayol.
Yep.
There's a bunch of fake accounts. Make sure it's Rafel Mayol.
We gotta get you verified.
I know. Or YouTube, or just buy some of my programs if you speak Spanish and you're interested in growing your business.
Emprendedores.com.
Emprendedores.com.
I love. Last question.
You want to know?
Yeah, I want to know. You want to know how much was that domain?
So domains in Spanish cost, in my experience, 1/10 or 1/5 of what a US domain would cost.
Okay.
So this domain in English would be multiple 7 figures. I had a confidentiality agreement, so I cannot say the price, but I can tell you it's the price of a car, a high-end.
A Lamborghini?
No, less than that.
A Porsche?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I got more expensive domains though.
Really?
I got one domain that's $165,000. Sonrisa.com.
Oh, that's sexy. That's
like
good.
Smile.com. And we're putting a clinic on it in Latin America.
That's freaking dope. I love it.
Yeah. I have more in domains than most people have in cars. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
That is like the final statement. I got more in domains than people have in cars.
Yeah. And I drive I don't have a car. My wife has a $10,000 Honda Civic, white, cheap car. I give to my dad a Porsche. Yep. I don't have a car. My wife drives a shitty, well, it's not a shitty car, but
normal car, regular.
Simple utility car, and that's interesting because I see a lot of people like flexing and like, especially in Miami, right? It's a very, and I understand because people judge you for your image and
your appearance.
So it's important. But sometimes people judge success by the car,
by the cover,
and it's important.
The domains are better. Cool, man. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on. And again, all the links to Rafel's stuff is going to be down in the description. Go follow him. Go see what he's up to. And I'm excited to see what you do with sonrisa.com, which is smile.com. Because that's going to be an interesting thing. I think you're going to be able to build that business faster than anything else you've ever done.
We're raising capital too. So it's a route that I've already gone. I've always self-financed. So we'll see. We're going to raise capital and see how fast we can grow it.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, I'm excited to see. See you guys in the next one.
See you.